Hey guys, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about commentary and then we're going to keep it moving. So I'm going to pull up my screen here and walk you through this slideshow. So first order of business, commentary is the explanation. So you have your topic sentence, which is your stance plus your reason. You have your evidence, and then the majority, and I do repeat the majority. The main part of your paper, my friends, is the commentary. This is the you part. Everything else is like, here are the reasons, here are the ideas, here's what other people think. The commentary is you. So if this is your paper, the commentary is the part that comes from your mouth. This is the part that you have to focus on. So let me talk to you about the commentary a little bit here. We struggled with this when we did the Crucible, so I want to make sure that this go around that we are better at our commentary. So the commentary should be 2 to 3 sentences, and it should explain why or how your evidence supports your claim. So, a couple of orders of business. Again, as per usual, we do not use I or we or you in our essay. You do not put your opinion here. Or you are putting your opinion, kind of, but you're not stating it as an opinion. You are giving the facts and the evidence, and then you're telling how that supports kind of your opinion. It is not a summary. It is not a paraphrase. You're not summarizing your quote. You're not telling me what the quote means. I am an intelligent human being. I know what the quotes mean. Tell me how the quotes prove what you're trying to prove, okay? So, if you get stuck, which kids sometimes do, your idea is that you should use this shows that, right? Like that's your commentary beginning. You don't always have to use this shows that, but don't use this means. When you're using this means that, you're just telling me what the quote means. Don't say this means. Say this shows. What is it showing me? What is it proving to me? All right, so let's look at this example. Lori is a mischievous little boy who is testing boundaries as he starts kindergarten, right? So I need to prove that Lori isn't, which is a weird name for a boy, but whatever. He's testing his boundaries at kindergarten. Here's my quote. For example, Lori plays a trick on his father at lunch and ends it by telling his father, gee, you're dumb. So this is pushing boundaries and being mischievous. So now I need to explain it. This shows that Lori may not be as sweet as his mother thinks that he is, and that Charles may not be the only child acting up in the kindergarten class. So we have actually two pieces of things that it shows. It shows that he's not as good as his mom thinks, and it shows he's not, Charles is not the only one, right? There's more than one kid acting up in class. So we have two things that quote was showing. So you can be showing multiple things in your quotes. We're not going to keep the summary. We're not going to discuss that guy because that's kind of a different kind of paragraph. We're not doing literary analysis. We're doing research. All right. So here are other sentence starters besides it shows, this proves, because, this demonstrates, this suggests, this evidence suggests, this reveals that, right? So those are all, this quote reveals that what? That marijuana has multiple purposes that can be used to help people of all ages experience relief from pain or whatever. All right, so I'm going to pull up another thing here in just a second about other things that'll help you write your commentary, okay? All right, really quickly, you also got this sheet on your It's Learning page as well. So here are some things to think about or things to answer when you're doing your commentary. So the first one is just so what? Why is it interesting? Why does anyone care? So like, why is this quote important? What does this mean? What, like, not what does it mean? Like, not what does the quote mean? Well, what does it mean for your argument? Why is this an important part or thing for us to know for your argument? What are the consequences of thinking this way? You're probably not going to use that one as much because you're like, unless you're talking about the counterclaim. We've described something, but why is it like that? So why is it done this way? Why do people choose to do it like this? Why do people believe this way, etc.? So you said that something happens. How does it happen? How does it become the way it is? That's another thing to question. Another thing that you might want to consider is, why is this information important? Why does it matter? It's kind of like number one. How is it related to my thesis? What connection exists between this quote and my thesis? Does it support my thesis? How does it do that? Can I give an illustration, like an example to illustrate the point that this thing is trying to make? That can also work as like, hey, here's an example of that quote in action, and then you give an example. So those are all things you can think about when you're doing commentary. The commentary is the most important part of your paper. Final thing, your explanation of the quote should be double the length of the quote. So if the quote is 2 lines, your explanation needs to be 4 lines, or etc. So make sure You might have to trim some quotes down if you don't want to write your explanation that long. And if you have some longer quotes that you feel like you need the whole thing, you're going to have to write a really strong explanation to go with it. Okay? All right, good luck writing your explanations, and message me or talk to me in class if you have any questions.